Hey, what's going on everyone? This video, we're going to be talking about iterating through an array using the forEach method. Very, very useful. Highly recommend that you understand this material. But first, please do me a favor and check out our sponsor, Dev Mountain. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description. You might want to check them out if you're interested in jump-starting your career. Basically, they are a boot camp that offer classes in JavaScript-based web development. So if you want to learn JavaScript, React, and Node.js, as well as some other things, and learn how to integrate them all together to build real-world applications, then Dev Mountain is for you. They offer classes online and in person, so there's really no excuse as to why you can't go. Let them know I sent you their way. They'll give you $250 off. Once again, the link is in the description. Now let's get started. Now, what exactly is the forEach method? Well, you may also hear forEach loop, and part of the confusion there is that some other languages have a dedicated loop for a forEach. And what is a forEach exactly? Well, let's first go over the for loop and then see how the forEach is different. So if we have an array of grades, we can iterate through these using a for loop. Let me zoom in just a little bit for you guys. So we can say for, and the way to iterate through an array is just go to grades.length. So I is less than grades.length, I++. That'll get every single element. And we can write these elements out using grades of I. So this is the standard way to iterate through an array. Do a refresh and we get all those elements. I'm gonna change that one just so it doesn't put them together like that. Bothers me. All right, anyways, the downside here is that it is going to do undefined. So if we say grades.length and set that equal to 30, for example, we're going to get a bunch of undefineds here. So the only way to get around that is to go inside of here and say if grades of I is not equal to undefined, then we'll console log, like so. So now it should work. It gets rid of those undefined. But there's actually another technique that you're probably going to run into quite a bit. And oh, does that just drive you crazy, like having one semicolon on the next line? Because of word wrap. I guess you could turn word wrap off, but whatever. Anyways, there's another way you might see this, and it's really common, and it looks like this. So you're going to have grades.forEach. And inside of here, we're going to pass in a function as an argument. So when you do this, it's known as a callback function. So it looks like this function, you put the parentheses, and then you put the curly braces. So we're just defining a function on the fly here. And my dog is here to say hello. Hi, dog. So specifically for a callback function, when we pass a function as an argument, it gets called on the inside, meaning the forEach function is going to call this function we put here. That means we can go in here and we can make it do things. So we can say console.log and say hello. Now, when you have it all like this, it can be a little bit hard to read, so I'm going to space that out a little bit in a second. So you can see that for every single element, 6 of them to be exact, it console logs hello. So let's space this out just a little bit differently, just so we can see it a little bit better. Like so. Awesome. Now, in this loop, we can gain access to the elements of this array, so we can just call it whatever. We could call it element. And we can use this element variable inside of the function to do things with the elements. So if we just console log the elements in here, like so, watch what happens. We do a refresh and we get a lot more data here. So I'm going to comment out this earlier for loop we did, and we're just going to see the forEach method. So that is the exact way to do this here with this forEach. You'll notice a difference though is that we don't have to check for undefined. So the forEach is only going to work with elements that are not undefined, which is a huge plus for us because that's one less check we have to do. Another thing you're going to notice here is that we're working with the element directly and we're not using an index. So we don't have to say grades of I. We can name it whatever we want, and each individual element is passed in this function into the element parameter. So we can access that element using that element variable. There's a lot of elements going on here, but you can name this whatever you want. So you could call this E if you wanted. You could call it item, whatever's easiest for you guys to understand that this is referring to each individual item. So each iteration, item is going to be a new element, specifically whatever item we're on currently. So the first iteration, it's 12, then 13, then 32, and so forth. So it's a lot cleaner on syntax. It does take a little bit more time to understand the callback function and how that works, but it definitely works. Now, the biggest thing to know is that you're working with the item directly and you're not using indexes. If for some reason you need to use an index, you can do that. You just need to pass in, you need to add another parameter here, and we can just call it I. That's going to get the index passed to it. Let's say we print I there, do a refresh, we get the index as well. So that's awesome. There is a third possible parameter, and that is the actual array, which is kind of pointless, but you might use that. So you can pass in the array there, and you're going to get the entire array each time. So if you need to access individual items, it's the first argument. If you need to access the index, it's the second argument. If you need to access the entire array here, then it's the third argument. But you can just use grades, so I'm not entirely sure the use of that here. I'm still trying to learn that one myself. So if you got a reason why you would want to pass in the array here, then let me know. So that is the forEach method, a lot cleaner than the for loop up here, at least in my opinion, specifically because you don't have to do any of this setup crap. It just does it for you, which definitely reduces errors and helps prevent you from going one over the length of the array or one too short or whatever it might be. So I would recommend you start using the forEach method. Definitely helpful for all kinds of situations. Thanks guys. In the next video, we're going to be talking about doing this, iterating through arrays, but for multi-dimensional arrays. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to check it out, and please be sure to subscribe if you've enjoyed this content. Thanks guys.